As far as the slap goes, yeah, it's all real. Like there's no sting. There's no way to prepare like to get hit low key either. Like, so I've been hit before in boxing. I've been hit before training MMA, but to take an open hit knowingly and expectingly, it's a little bit different. A lot of people right now know me as Joey Success from the power slap stage. I did a little bit of acting in the past. I'm an entrepreneur as well. I do dabble in real estate. Seeing myself working in a factory 12 hours, I'm like, yo, this is not me. Like, I'm capable of way more things. You know, after winning titles or after winning like national tournaments and stuff like that, helped me with self-belief. Like, I know I've done this in the past, so no matter what kind of pressure I'm going through right now, I know I'm going to come out on top.
Welcome back to Conversation with Mr. French. I'm your host, Derek French. My today's guest is an athlete, an entrepreneur, and a power slap competitor whose journey is always about overcoming adversity, from growing up in a difficult home to becoming a champion wrestler, pursuing MMA, moving to Las Vegas, building a career in real estate. He's also faced plenty of challenges along the way. Joseph, aka Joey Success, welcome.
Let's go, man. I appreciate you bringing me in.
I appreciate you stopping by, brother. Is there anything I missed?
No, man, I think you covered it all. I appreciate it.
Okay, appreciate you, brother. Tell us a little about yourself for those who don't know who you are.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, a lot of people right now know me as Joey Success from the power slap stage. I feel like that's my biggest presence right now. I did a little bit of acting in the past, too. I still pursue a career in acting. But, yeah, I mean, I have a strong background in sports, athletics. Been a wrestler since I was the age of 6, all the way up till right now competing. Just a little bit about me. And like you said, I am an entrepreneur as well. I do dabble in real estate. That's my main bread. That's where I get most of my money right now.
Okay. So, growing up with teenager parents, how was that like?
Yeah, man. So my parents had me when they were 15 and 16 years old. I mean, when I was around that age, I couldn't even imagine having a kid. You know what I mean? Even right now, I'm a dad. My daughter's 7 years old. So, like, you know, facing the things I am right now, I'm like, man, I don't know how my parents did it when they were 15 and 16. But looking back, yeah, I mean, they were teenagers trying to raise me. You know, unfortunately, my dad wasn't a presence in my life too much as a kid. I mean, you know, he was 15 years old. He was probably out doing his thing. And, you know, obviously he was doing some other things. And, you know, my at-home relationship or my time at that time, it was rough, man. I mean, like, my mom really raised me for the most part with my grandmothers, and then my dad would show up when he wants to show up. Yeah, I mean, there's just people say, oh, you can't remember when you're 3 or 4 years old, but I actually do have memories. I mean, because they were weird, bad memories. You know what I mean? Like stuff that I haven't talked about much.
So, I'm assuming you're from the Midwest.
Yeah, Ohio.
Yeah, so once you said mother and grandma, it's the same here. Same similar story. My father, so I didn't know who he was until my senior year in high school. So, because I'm 6'4", it was a guy, I think he's about maybe 5'10", 6 foot. He's yelling my name at a homecoming game, and I'm like, man, who is this guy? He's short. You know, I'm like you. I don't know who he is. He in and out of my life. And I went home and explained to my mama who he was, and she was like, yeah, that's who he is. So my mother and grandma raised me too. My mother had 4 of us. So she had, my mother had my brother, same. My mother, she had, I think my brother 15 or 16. So 15 or 16 years old. So I understand exactly where you come. So growing up in Ohio, what type of sports were you into?
Yeah, man. So I mean, we weren't into much at first. And then, like, we had a relative in our family, like, that my dad knew, and he was like, hey, man, you should get your kids in wrestling. And my dad, I guess he used to wrestle when he was little or something. So he was like, oh, yeah, let's try it out. And again, like I said, my dad, he'd be there and he wouldn't be there when the sport of wrestling came around, like, and we started becoming more active. I think he's seen, like, this is an opportunity. He kind of stuck around more. And it was mostly, like, during when wrestling season would come around. So, you know, he would take us to practice and things like that. But, I mean, pretty much wrestling was the main focus. I did play football for a little bit. And then my grandpa, he was in jail for 25 years. When he got out of jail, he wanted us to be boxing because that's what he used to do. So we dabbled a little bit in that, but for the most part, wrestling took most of our time just because we were so experienced, we were so into it and seeing like what you could outcome could be. That's where we focused most of our energy.
So do you remember your first match and did you win?
No, man, I do remember everything. I lost all my wrestling matches all the way up until like middle school. Yeah, man, I think it was a mental thing. I would, I was always getting my ass beat in wrestling tournaments and stuff. And my brother, he was like a natural right away. He was his first tournament, he took like second, and he was just winning and winning. He was at a younger age when, I feel like he got most of the attention from my parents. My dad, that was my dad's golden child. You know what I mean? Like, so I mean, I wasn't winning at all, and then I just started getting my ass beat so much in wrestling practice that I just got better. I mean, you're only gonna get better if you keep going at. So once middle school came around, that's when I was undefeated. That's when I started winning state titles. That's when everything clicked for me.
So it's just you and your brother?
Me and my brother. I also have a sister, but she didn't compete. I mean, she's always there. One of my biggest supports, even to this day, helped me out with everything.
So you're the oldest?
Yes.
So do you feel like your brother was learning from your experience of, like you said, you was losing? Do you feel like he was learning from that to get better?
You know what? No, I think we started at the same exact time. He was younger than me, so you know what I mean, he was like almost like an infant in a wrestling singlet, being able to go through the motions. And no, I just think he's talented. He was gifted, man. He was better than me for real. It just took, like I said, hard work and losing, making mistakes for me to become a better wrestler and be able to realize like, hey, I can do this on my own.
So how did wrestling change your life when you and your brother discovered it?
Oh man, I mean, it just really put everything into perspective. Like, I'm not saying we were bad kids or anything, but we were out, hanging out in the neighborhood late, just doing, regular kid stuff. And once wrestling came around, it became more structured. Like, we had to cut weight, I mean, we had to focus on goals. Like, we had to be practicing, because if we're not practicing, we're getting our ass beat in the tournaments or just in practice in general. So it made a lot of, facing adversity and just putting in like structure in our life, because again, our family was so broken. Like, my mom and my dad's situation, bouncing around in different houses and different schools, like it kind of structured us to where our parents kind of wanted to keep us in a school, like, so we can keep competing in that school rather than changing around and stuff like that. So
when you went to school, you said you did with in football. How did that go?
It was all right. I was a running back, and it was just like middle school, man. It was only like a couple years, and then, like I said, wrestling just became so much serious that during that time when football season's going, we're already starting to cut weight and get ready for season, because I got to make weight to make varsity.
So you feel like wrestling was your first and only love?
Yeah, man, I'm gonna be honest though, it wasn't a love for me. I hated the sport. I hated the sport because, again, I was getting my ass kicked all the time, and my dad, he was abusive. Like, if me and my brother were losing in practice, as soon as we got in the car, we'd be getting our ass beat. Like, what the fuck happened? I'm not, if I'm supposed to swear on here, but yeah, I'm just, he's yelling at us, smacking us, like, asking us what's wrong. So like, it became I didn't love the sport. I felt like it was something I just had to do. Like, I was supposed to do it. I didn't start loving it until later on in my life, when I realized like all the principles it taught me, like all adversity, like, after winning titles or after winning like national tournaments and stuff like that, it helped me with self-belief. Like, I know I've done this in the past, so no matter what kind of pressure I'm going through right now, I know I'm going to come out on top.
So you state that you won champions, right? You won state championship and national titles. What did that accomplishment mean to you?
It was just more of like a realization, like, of who I am, like coming of my own. Like I said, I've lost so much, and I put so much time in athletics and training. To win those titles was just like validation for me. Like, I'm like, okay, like, I am that guy that I think I am. I am as good as I say I am. And like, that self-doubt I was able to overcome that, like, just like I said, clarity for me.
So I'm pretty sure you was like, you hit the lottery when you started winning those, because like you said, growing up back then, you was taking L's.
Yeah. Right.
So how many championships did you win?
Oh man, there's Reno Worlds Nationals. I won a state title in Ohio. There's been there's Tulsa Nationals, and then Ohio's one of the biggest wrestling states. Like, they have a tournament of champions. I mean, there's got to be like 3 or 4 titles under my record for sure.
So you forego scholarships, and you walked away from that.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah, man. So again, I feel like middle school or like right before high school is where like I feel like I reached my physical peak too, like for wrestling. Like I was beating everybody, had titles. I felt like I was the man going into freshman year. My freshman year was like weird, man. It was like a wake up call. Like that wrestling team that I was on, people were moving from all over the country to wrestle on that wrestling team. So just to make varsity was tough. And then it was just like a different structure, man. Because I'm from Toledo, Ohio. It's kind of like by the hood.
Yeah.
And we moved like in a small like farm town near Dayton. So it was like a culture shock for me. So like first of all, I'm moving here. I don't know any of these people. I'm a Latino. I don't blend in, bro. Like it's weird. Like everybody just looks at me differently. And then, you know, I'm on a new wrestling team and there's all this stuff going on. And I'm supposed to be like the big star. Me and my brother moved in. We're supposed to be like the new stars of the team. And yeah, like freshman year, they're like, hey, Joseph, you got mail? I'm like, never got mail before. Why am I getting mail to a school? I go through the mail, Princeton, Harvard, bro. It's like all these Ivy League schools. Now, I've heard of them, but I don't know nothing about it. They're like, you know, they're interested in me for wrestling. Ohio State, Michigan. I went to a college visit at Michigan with one of my homies that had a full ride. They were like trying to recruit me too. So
that's very big.
Yeah.
I mean, especially coming from getting your ass whooped to
Right.
now everybody wants you.
And that's why I was like, my head got big too. And I'm like, this is me. Like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take one of these scholarships. But at the same time, you know, I mean, like, back to the family situation. There's stuff going on at home. You know, I think my dad left at the time again. So, and at the same time, I was like, I still wanted to live the hood life, man.
Yeah.
Like, you know, hanging out with the homies. I was producing music and making music. I thought I was going to be a rap star. So I'm like, I'm in high school making music. I'm a rapper. I'm also trying to do this wrestling thing. But my love for the wrestling fell away, man, just because I felt like I was, you know, like it was tough, man, making that varsity team and then like the adversity, like just the family situation. So I feel like I just kicked that stuff to the curb and wanted to like do the street life thing, man, just focus on my music career. And yeah, I mean, I feel like I blew up all my opportunities just by making those decisions.
So you became involved in the streets and music. What made you realize you had to make a decision change?
This music was always something I loved, and then like I feel like I was so attracted to the street life because of my family. Like my cousins and stuff I'd hang around with. You know, I thought, you know, it's cool kicking in the hood, smoking, like they're drinking at a young age, and you're just like, man, these guys are out here kicking it.
So not to cut you off, did you see Hand Over Fist?
What you mean?
You know what I mean? Street life.
Oh yeah.
Hand Over Fist, as in, you know, the dope game, the weed game.
Oh yeah, bro. This is crazy. Everybody. There's hella connects in my family.
That's why I said.
Yeah.
That's why I asked. Did you, you know, because you said you was in the street, so I figured you see Hand Over Fist, as in, you know, they passing off.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, yeah, hella family members are locked up, you know, doing life, and then, bro, believe it or not, I was getting fronted. Like I was getting pounds of weed, bro. Like that was my thing, because it just became legal in Ohio, like for recreational purposes, and there's only a few dispensaries around, so like. And this was way back in the day. Like I was getting fronted pounds from my own mom. Like from my own mom.
Talking about, brother. Dude, what did you say?
Yeah.
You said from mom?
From my mom, yeah. So my mom was dating this dude who was in prison making moves and shit, and you know what I mean? She had the connects, and you know what I mean, she knew what I was doing. So instead of you know, me paying outright, she was like, oh, I'll just front you the bows. And then, you know, she'd come over, get a big bag, and I'd have that pieced out like the same day.
So, and wrestling was nowhere in your mind now, because you live in the street life. You're enjoying what you thought was the right path.
Yeah.
So what shifted?
Man, you know what happened was it just became like there's not a lot of money in the way I was living, like the pounds I was moving and stuff. It wasn't like an end game. Like it wasn't like I was coming up a lot to make a living off this or take this and move it as an investment. I'm like, I cannot keep doing this life. So I did what everybody does in that area. I started working in a factory, and where I'm from, automotive manufacturing is like one of the biggest careers. Like a lot of people, it's sad, bro. A lot of people where I'm from, they think they made it when they work at Jeep or they work at Chrysler. They work at these factories, which don't get me wrong, there's a lifestyle to it, but you're giving your whole life away. You're working 12-hour shifts.
That's like where I'm from. We got GM.
Yeah.
So once you get on the GM plant, now everybody think they didn't struck gold.
Yeah.
So they out here living it. But like you said, you were putting all these hours and you're not enjoying life. You're not enjoying life. So yeah, I'm familiar with those plants.
Yeah. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get out of the street life. I'm gonna work in a factory. My girl at the time, like her parents were like pressing me hard, like, you know, this is the way to live. They worked in factories and retired. And I'm like, so this is what I'm gonna do, bro. And then I started working in a factory, 12-hour shifts, you know what I mean? And I'm just realizing, like, I'm starting to like make friends with the people in the factory, and I'm telling them about my accomplishments, and they're just like laughing at me. They're like, you never did any of that shit. And I'm like, I just telling people what I achieved and them not believing me, and then seeing myself working in a factory 12 hours, I'm like, yo, this is not me. Like, I'm capable of way more things. Yeah. And that's when I just dropped everything and moved to Vegas.
So whatever happened to the music? Did you put anything out?
Yeah.
Did you take that serious?
Yeah, so I took music super serious for the longest time. I mean, even to this day, I still write stuff and, you know, record a little bit of music, but I took my music to a far at the time when I, you know, basically quit wrestling and went full blast with this whole street life and stuff. Yeah, I mean, I had success with music. I opened up for Big Sean, Crazy Bone in Cleveland. Mostly it was just opening up for like opening acts like locally in the town or like close by, like Cleveland, Toledo. And yeah, I mean, I've had features. I've had like drops on my mixtape from Chameleonaire, big names like The Game and stuff like that. But it was also one of those things too. Like, I was selling hella tickets for shows, and then I wouldn't get the headline, or I'd get like right before the headline. So there was a lot of stuff that was happening in the music industry that was just making me. I kind of like when I did the factory thing. It's kind of like I just put all that on the back burner.
So you put your music on back burner because you feel like you wasn't getting there fast enough?
Yeah,
or
so
getting the recognition that you deserve?
Yeah, so the 12-hour shifts, and then in the time having to make music, and then having to book shows, and then not being able to get that time off to perform at the shows was like, because, you know, I mean, if you quit, like, there's non-union job. My job was non-union, so if I took a day off, I might come in the next day and they're like, hey, you got to go. Yeah. So money was more important than doing it.
So what motivates you to get back into training and into sports?
Yeah, so again, at the time that I'm like telling everybody in the factory, like, oh, I used to be this kind of athlete. Like, oh, my brother beat Cody Garbrandt, who is a UFC champion right now. Like, so people in our circle, Cody Garbrandt, Lance Palmer, people that, you know, we went to school with, ended up winning the Olympics. They ended up being 4-time NCAA champs. I'm like seeing all these people in the circle I grew up with, and I'm like, they're achieving big things, and I'm over here working in a factory. Like, nah, I'm capable of more of that. You know what I mean? I put in so much work. So that inspired me with all the negative feedback from people, like, kind of like, you know, I'll tell them my inspirations are my, like, what I'm inspired to do, and they would just laugh at me because, like, oh, man, you're going to be just like one of us. You're going to be a...
Oh, because you're working at this factory.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, people don't know. People had a past
right
before they got to this factory.
Yeah, and that, like I said, that was a huge wake-up call. Like, just seeing the way that people, their mindsets were like, this is it. I'm like, this is not the cap. So being inspired by a guy like Cody Garbrandt, a guy that I was pretty close with, to see him win a UFC championship made me get back in the gym and made me start training. And that's when I started focusing. I started losing weight while I was working in the factory, started training while I was in the factory, and then I was set my goals on moving to Vegas.
So you saw people you wrestled with go to UFC and MLF fights. So you was touching on that. So how did that make you go harder when you moved to Vegas?
Yeah, man. So when I got here, I just focused on athletics as most as I can. I think I joined like EOS at first. I'm like, I got to get in shape, man. Yeah. I started getting my weight down. And then from there, I started training at Silver Wolf MMA, who was owned by Stephen Bonner. He passed away a few years ago. And the gym kind of like dissipated. And I think it might be a new ownership now. But at the time, I was training hard. I was doing jiu-jitsu. Wrestling was my main thing. And then I also had a striking background with boxing, like I said, with my grandpa, and I picked that back up. So here, I just try to put everything together. When I moved to Vegas, I was doing boxing, jiu-jitsu, and then I had my wrestling background. I was helping a little bit at Slam Academy. But yeah, I mean, I was training. I thought, you know, the whole goal was to get some amateur fight so that I can get into a notice or get noticed by the UFC. And then that's when I had a back injury.
So you had that in 2020.
Yeah.
What was going through your mind then?
Man, bro, that injury was like an injury that was completely by surprise. Like it wasn't an injury I got training. It's not like I was working out or deadlifting or wrestling or something and I was like, oh, you know what I mean? Something happened to my back. This was more like I woke up one day just from like, I think I was sleeping on the couch and I'm like, yo, like something's going wrong. Like, so I went to the doctor and I got an X-ray.
Okay.
And then they looked at the X-ray. They're like, bro, you're good. And I'm like, I'm not good. I barely got here. Like my back's messed up. So they scheduled me for an MRI and they seen like the last 3 discs I have are ruptured. And there's my last disc is almost non-existent. So that was a huge setback. And I'm like, you know, at first I was in denial. I'm like, nothing happened. Like, and maybe it was because I slept wrong. And then it never went away. And in that, I feel like that was one of the darkest times of my life because I felt like everything I worked up to, like my strength, the direction I was going with, you know, training MMA, I feel like everything was lost, like, bro. And at that point, yeah, I mean, I feel like it affected my whole life, like not only like my physical and athletic abilities, but also my work life. I feel like I got into a dark place because I felt like, am I never going to recover from this?
So, do you feel like that dealt with your mental health as well?
Oh, big time. I mean, like, yeah. I mean, if I had to pick out like on a scale of 1 to 10, how much that injury affected me, I'd say I was like a 9 or a 10, man.
So, did you have support?
I've always had support, like as far as like my family goes, but like my brother, my sister, my girl and stuff like that. But as far as like medical support, no, man, I didn't do like, I didn't have insurance or anything. So I was just like paying out of the pocket for like doctor visits and stuff like that.
So yeah, that's very tough. And like you said, just dealing with that, and you need it because of your back, and then with your professional, with you trying to get back into wrestling, or how did Power Slap come about?
Yeah, man. So like it was like the perfect scenario. Power Slap was the perfect sport for me to get into because I'm not picking people up. I'm not on the ground rolling around and submitting. I'm not, you know, throwing combos and like it's literally just embracing that slap, working on the mechanics of the slap. So I kept continuing training and stuff like that, and I would post videos and stuff. And I actually had somebody, I think it was the actual Power Slap account. They like reached out, and I'm like, yo, this is crazy. So I followed up on them, sent them an email, and they called me out and invited me to the combine, like kind of like NFL. It's like they want to search talent, see what you got. I went to the combine, and everything went well. Met with like a couple of the champs, and I patiently waited, man. I think I waited for almost a year before they finally called me back.
So what year was this?
This was like 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago already. I almost waited one whole year, and then when I finally got signed, it was like a whole nother year before I competed or something like that.
Do you remember your first match?
Oh yeah. I remember like it was yesterday. It was just it was this year. It was April. Yeah.
So take us through that. How when you got the call, what happened?
Oh man, so I got the call. I feel like I'm so glad that this happened, and I feel like I faced so much adversity in my first fight because I got the call. It was like a 3-week notice. I was 210 pounds. I had to make 186. So I had to my whole fight camp was all losing weight. I just had to dial in and lose my weight. Sometimes I have the back injury where it flares up, so I can't practice my strike too much because if I messed up my disc, it gets out of place. Like everything was just going wrong for that camp. So the whole camp, I'm just cutting weight, just getting ready, and yeah, man. I mean, like I said, it was like 3 weeks notice before I was already competing. But it was a crazy build up because it's like, you know, I've competed before on big stages, like, you know, state tournaments, national tournaments where there's a whole stadium packed. But being on that Power Slap stage is a different feeling.
So were you nervous? Because some people say it's fake, and we know the sound of that doesn't sound like it's fake. So how was you feeling that your first match?
Yeah, so I mean, I was definitely nervous. I feel like I was more nervous to the build up, like the month before, or like the time I got the call. I'm like, oh man, this is serious. Like here we go. Yeah. As far as like being backstage, like no, not at all. Like even before I came out, like there was no nerves at all. I'm like, this is like, I feel like it was written, bro. Like it was ready. Like this was meant for me. My whole walkout, everything went great. Like everything was fine. But I think like there was a lot of mental games played like before, like, oh man, this is reality. Like, oh, I'm going to be competing in front of Dana White and like some of the top executives on the biggest stage that I could possibly compete on. Yeah, there's a lot of nerves, but as far as like competing, Nah, I wasn't nervous at all. And as far as the slap goes, yeah, it's all real. Like there's no sting. There's no way to prepare like to get hit low key either. Like so I've been hit before in boxing. I've been hit before training MMA, but to take an open hit knowingly and expectantly, it's a little bit different.
You know, no head equipment on, but only thing I got is mouth guard in.
Yeah, mouthpiece. Put your hands behind your back and you hold the little pool noodle thing.
Brother, I'm a 6'4", 220. I'm nowhere near will participate in that. You got more heart than me, brother. So while you was training, you invested into real estate. How did that come about?
Yeah, so I was picking up side jobs when I was training. I worked in car sales before. My dad did car sales for a while, so I'm like, you know what, I could probably jump in this business and do car sales. I did sales before, but just in the streets, you know what I mean? Like, so I can definitely,
You can't put that on there as a tax write-off.
Yeah, but you know, I could talk to people, create those customer relationships, make sure people come back and stuff like that. So I picked up car sales, and I was selling cars. And I was, you know, when you sell cars, you do people's credit reports.
Correct.
Or you do their, you know, applications so you can see how much income they have. So I'm doing applications for real estate people. And I'm like, yo, you guys are making bread. Like, I'm in the wrong sales. So that's when I ended up selling a car to a guy. And he's like, yo, you're a good sales guy. You should, like, come work for my company. I'm like, what do you do? And he's like, real estate. And I'm like, this is exactly what I wanted to do.
Was that here in Vegas?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I ended up working for his company. And I worked for them for a while, and they ended up like closing their doors in Vegas because they also had a main office in Arizona.
Okay.
Once they closed the doors, I was already networked with other investors, and there was another investor. He's like, hey, bro, why don't you come exclusively just work for me? And basically, I started working with that guy, and he taught me all the ropes of how to find off-market deals, how to make investments off of these properties, and ever since then, I've been running full blast with that.
So you wasn't a realtor; you were just an investor.
I was just a sales guy. So even to this day, I don't even hold a real estate license.
Okay.
What we do is we market towards people off market, whether people that are in foreclosure, people that just want to sell their house without doing the headaches of a listing. So no open houses, no negotiations. I'm gonna give you this price that you want. Once I lock that price in, let's say I lock a price in for $150,000, but it's worth $300,000. I'm gonna mark it up to $170,000. I'm gonna sell it to an investor. When that investor buys it, I get a $20,000 finder fee commission, and then they still can make the repairs and then make the bread on the return when they do the flip.
That's not a bad side gig, brother. That's not a bad side gig. So looking back at everything that you have been through, what is the biggest lesson you have learned?
Man, the biggest lesson I've learned, I feel like, is just believing in myself, man, because I feel like that's something I face even to this day. Like self-doubt, man, is real. So like just believing in myself. I mean, I've been in so many different difficult places before, and I feel like that's my biggest thing I've learned from everything is just like believing in myself, believing in my capabilities I've been able to overcome so many obstacles.
So you mentioned you had your back problem. So now with that, your dreams of being in a MMA fighter, is that possible?
So my back healed by, like, I never got surgery or anything. It's healed pretty good by itself. It's been like a 5-year process. Like I've been doing everything that anybody's recommended towards me, like aerobic workouts, like just trying to stay flexible and stuff like that. And right now I feel like if I got the call, I would compete because I can compete. I just don't know the longevity of it because of my back. Like I've been recommended to get like surgeries where it's spinal fusions, but everyone I've talked to says like, don't get the fusion because as soon as you get it, you're never the same. Like your mobility, and you can never go back because they fuse the bones together. So there's also stem cell therapy, which is what I'm leaning towards right now. Okay. There's been studies where people have been getting the stem cells injected into the disc, and it promotes regrowth. So every disc I'd have would just basically just start repairing and expanding on its own.
So you mentioned that you're a father now. How have that changed you?
Man, such a blessing. My daughter's name is Rosie, and she's a huge inspiration for me. Like every time I get up, you know, she's always asking me when's my next power slap fight. And I like I said, I've done acting too. I've been in YouTube videos, and I've been on court TV shows. And I was on this YouTube video guy's name. His name's Zong. He's got 67 million subscribers. He's huge with kids, and I was on one of his episodes, and ever since I've been on that episode on YouTube, my daughter thinks I'm like the biggest superstar ever. And she's every time we go to the store, when people look at me, because some people look at me like, oh, this guy's a fighter or something.
Yeah.
She sees people look at me like that, and she's like, oh, I think they think you're a YouTuber. So she doesn't look at me as a fighter. It's more of like a YouTuber.
My first is his daughter, as a girl.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's 20 now, so she's a junior in college.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I know that feeling.
Man, and the daughter's girl. Yeah, I don't know what it's like to have a son. As a guy, we always think, oh, we want a son. But after having a daughter, I'm like, man, I think I would only want daughters because it.
I love her. She's my oldest, but then I got my 2 boys. It's different. Yeah. Because when you get your boys, you can roughhouse them.
Yeah, that's
with your daughter, you got some that's you can, but then again, you like, this is daddy's princess, and you want to protect her as much as you can.
And that's where I'm at. I'm like, she's super sweet, and it's hard for me. Like, it's hard for me to be that monster. Like, that was another thing. The power slap fight. Mm-hmm. Her and my girl stayed in because we get a hotel room and everything. Her and my girl stayed in my hotel, so I'm like kissing her before I'm about to fight. I'm like, you know what I mean? It just does something weird to me. But I feel like if I had a son, I'd be rough, man. I'd be like, I don't want to say I'd be just like my dad, but I'd probably be pretty tough on him.
So that's me. Like, because society out there, man, they're not going to be soft on our kids, right, boy or girl. So I try to prepare my kids, because I have 3. I have 2 boys and a girl. I try to prepare them for what's out there. Daddy love you, but I'm going to give you tough love, right, to where, you're not going to allow society to, you know how to stand up against society. Because, out there, it's crazy out there. So if anyone is listening, going through this, had a difficult time as you, what would you tell them? I
would just stay course, have faith, and have that self-belief. Like, just whatever you've accomplished, whether it was just graduating school, like getting a GED, or just getting your high school diploma, like that's an accomplishment. Like, you did that, you went to school, you learned, you have an education, like take it to the next level. Every little step, even if it's just getting a new job, everything's scary. When you get that new job, it's all new people you don't want to talk to. Like, it's a scary place. Or when you start a new school or you start a new career path, like it's always scary, and like you're always going to face adversity. No matter what, you can create safeguards in your life, but that adversity is always going to come. So like, just stay with the course, stay with the past, and have faith. So no matter what your background is, you can overcome anything. Exactly. Social media, they never glorified the L's. No one never ever seen how, for example, I slept in my truck when I moved to Vegas, right? So I understand that, but no one is they're too proudful to admit this is what I had to go through to get these millions. So for you to have been documenting that's going to be big. Yeah. I put a sample out before I even started acting and doing the power slap stuff. I put it on TikTok, and it went big, man. I had like over 100K views, and people were commenting, oh man, I can't believe it. It was just like, and that was just a fraction. It was just like some of the stuff I've overcame. And then like, I used to live in the high rises at the Veers Tower on the Strip. Okay. So like, from losing all that stuff, and then in the video to me on the Strip, like getting my car valeted and being on the rooftop pool up there, like, it was inspiring. But again, that's in the past. Like, I've already created so much more, and I've recorded that. So someday, man, I want to be on like a Hulu show or a big Netflix show. Like, and that's kind of like, that's something that's possible. So, I mean, that's very possible. I mean, like you once again, adversity, you had already come that. Yeah. So if you want to put your doc out, that's more possible to do. Yeah, for sure, man. So if people want to reach out to you and work with you, where can they reach you at? Oh, man, you can follow me on IG at Joey Success. I'm open for anything, man. I'm always willing to work with somebody. Never looking for a dollar. I'm not looking to make money off anybody. Just, spread the knowledge and, just be there for anybody. I'm an open ear. So what about music? Music, I'm still open. I still do music. I'm still producing. I just put out a clip the other day, and people was blowing me up like, dang, I didn't even know you did that. Let's put that out. I want to work out to that song. So yeah, that's something I want to package together, whether I'm like producing my own music that I'm walking out to in Power Slap, or if I'm using my music for content. But yeah, it's something I still want to put out. It's something that never really dies. You see artists that are older and late in life that keep putting out hits. So yeah, it's just another avenue to make some money too. What about the acting? The acting's my main thing, man. I love acting. It's a scary, like I did a commercial with the NFL. It was like NFL Amazon Thursday night. That was huge, but it was, it was scary because you walk in like, it's like one of the big studios, like Hollywood studios, and you're just back there and they're like, I'm just like, man, what am I doing here? Like, how did I even get here? Like, am I supposed to be here? I'm not even an actor. You know what I mean?
From a kid from what, Ohio, you said?
Yeah.
Now you're in Vegas. Now you on NFL big stage.
Yeah.
That's a lot to be proud of, brother.
Yeah. So it was like this imposter syndrome. I'm like, what am I like? I'm in LA recording this music video. Like, what is this? Like, but yeah, no, that's my main thing. Like, again, I want to use like Power Slap. Power Slap's not a career that's forever. You can only take so many hits. You can only get so far with it. It's a platform to get to, you know, a Netflix show or get another acting job. That's something I want to get to. So, and again, fighting's not forever. Even if I wanted to fight in MMA, I mean, you know, Dana White's saying, you know, after 35 years old, he's not even signing people. Like, you know what I mean? They're just, you know, older in their careers. It's hard to compete with these young people, young 20-year-olds that just have better movement, time movement and stuff like that. So acting's my main goal right now.
So where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years, I see myself on a big show. Like, I really see myself. I had an audition for a Netflix show, so I feel like I had it at my fingertips, but God was like, not yet.
Not yet. Not your time, brother.
Yeah, not yet.
Your time.
And then I got the call for Power Slap, so I'm like, okay, this is the avenue. So I'm gonna stay course, man. I got the faith, and I have self belief that one day I will be on one big show or one big movie.
So before we leave, and I always like to ask this question: what legacy do you want to leave behind once you're gone?
Man, so my nickname is Joey Success, man. And I feel like my whole life I'm writing the success story. Maybe right now I'm not at my success. This isn't where I want to be. Like, some people might look at me like, oh, you made it to Power Slap, or you've done this and done that. That means nothing to me. Like, the legacy I want to leave behind is inspiration. I want people to look at my story and be able to like, hey, this guy was able to do it. I want to be able to do that. Like, it's just leaving that success story. I've also didn't really touch on this, but I've been recording myself since like 2015, like on my phone, like every rough time, bro. I lived in my car before. I've lost everything in my house. I mean, we had to sell our house and we were about to have a baby. I've recorded all those bad times and I've recorded all the good times, recorded me on the Power Slap stage, recorded moments when I got acting jobs. So at some point I'm going to put that out, almost like a little self-documentary, so people can like look at everything that I went through. Cause that's the thing, bro. Like, when we're on social media, we see all these people winning. We never see them losing at all. So I want to put that out so people can see regular people. I'm a regular dude. We all bleed the same. Like, you know what I mean? If I can do it, you can do it.
Well, I want to say thank you again, brother, for stopping by and having a conversation with me. Once again, where can they find you at?
Joey Success on IG.
No, thank you, brother.
Appreciate it.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you once again.
Appreciate it, bro.